Good evening and welcome to a very special episode of Beacon. Tonight we are raising money for Doctors Without Borders, and we already have a smashed goal on our fundraiser, which Sam Delev told me was going to happen when we were building our goals. I was like, are you sure about this? And they were like, dude, they're going to break that before we even go live. And so they did. Sam is going to be joining us. Their computer is currently fighting them for control of their body. As you may know, Sam is actually a synthetic, so sometimes it doesn't always work out, but you know, they'll be here. Before we start tonight, I want to let you know the donation link is currently going to be posted up in chat. So if you haven't seen it just yet, that's going to be available to everybody. The donation link is also available on Twitter. If you've seen our Twitter going out, we have a hefty goal of 1,000. Last I checked, we were at 700. So we're only just starting, which is mind-blowing. Like, I've gained an appreciation for how flabbergasted Rick Budd always was whenever he was raising money. I remember this feeling. So thank you so much. Obviously, the money you guys are raising right now for Doctors Without Borders is incredibly important. And I want to point out that Beacon very much was established on this premise of rushing into places that are dangerous to get to, where people are desperately in need of help, and doing the best you can in a pretty bleak experience and world right now. So we need that light, and thank you so much for helping support. Decided to join us, did you? Decided maybe you might play a game tonight with little old us, did you? Decided to show up for a fundraiser, did you?
Hi,
So
buddy.
happy you can make it.
Hi, buddy. Good to see you.
Go ahead, test me after this much troubleshooting, please. Please.
Yeah, I know. You're probably on the edge. So that's the status. Tonight, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys our unlocks. Caitlin, I only Sam and Jake know the unlocks right now, so the rest of the folks are going to be hearing it for the first time, and this will be very exciting. So set your set Twitch to record clips, because here we go. The first unlock is at $1,000. It was a pretty hefty goal, but at $1,000, thanks to Demiplane putting this out as content, the crew is going to unlock a cat. They're going to get Mr. Impressive as a cat, which is going to be a playable character.
What?
No joke.
We're getting a cat because we just went past $1,000.
Okay, we're getting a cat. Well done, everybody. Holy shit. We're getting a cat. You're also getting a new ship. The Ilios 2, which will be introduced at some point in the narrative tonight. So that's been prepped. That's if we hit $1,000. Since we did, Mr. Impressive is now going to be a part of the Ilios crew and is going to be joining you guys in the next chapter of Beacon. The next fundraising goal, and get ready to watch Caitlin's screen for this one, at 1.5K, I'm going to run a special 2-hour one-shot, Oops, All Predators, where all of the players are going to be playing Yautja on a hunt.
Look me in the eyes right now. Look me in the eyes right now, chat. You better do this for me. We're doing this for a good cause, but you need to do this
Personal favor.
Personal favor to me specifically. Look me in the eyes, please and thank you.
Yeah, it is going to be a very bloody, violent game of hunting and invisibility and laser beams blowing people's torsos off. It'll be a good time, good horror sci-fi. It's totally just a nice, calm, peaceful, exciting game. At 2K, well, we don't know just yet, but I've decided to impose it upon Sam to come up with something. So Sam, I've delegated to the rest of this to Sam. If we are fortunate enough to hit double what we were hoping to raise, Sam has promised that they will come up with something that will entice everybody. As if we hit 1.5K, we'll announce it. Does that sound okay?
You're the
Sam?
storyteller. Ideas are your job.
Yeah,
I'm just supposed to be here and be decorative.
No, story ideas are you have to. I need you to pick something that you would only do for a unique situation. I'm gonna make it Sam-centric.
What you won't do.
Yeah. So, but if we hit 1.5, we're going to, all eyes will turn to Sam and we'll come up with what it's going to be. So, thank you so much already. Holy crap. All right. So those are my announcements for the night. Does anybody have any announcements that they would like to get into really quick before we jump into this game, into the next chapter? Yes, Noir.
Yes. So a friend of mine has a really awesome Kickstarter. Well, actually, I'd like to start with a different one. A good friend of mine has won a competition that has been going on for the past 80 years, which is the
Okay.
One Host Podcast competition. I just want to give a most sincere shout out to Super Dylan. You are going to do
Oh,
a
sweet.
fantastic job. I am so
Oh.
excited. I'm glad it was you. I'm glad it was
Glad it was you.
As you fell me from the competition.
I was gonna say, isn't that what what's his name says? Paul Newman says to Tom Hanks in Road to Perdition before Tom
Yeah.
Hanks mows him down with a Tommy gun.
I love that movie so much. Oh, my second shout out is to OKSDM. They have a Kickstarter for Saga, which is a setting a genre agnostic system. I highly recommend that you check it out. There's been a number of actual plays. I've played it. I've had them on Morning Ritual. It's super awesome. So go check it out. I'll try to sneak a link in if I can. And finally, that's it. Stop receiving me.
Excellent. I don't know what happened to Noir,
I will
but
not
I've lost
comply.
him, so I guess he'll be back with us in a second. Does anybody else have any announcements before we jump into the game? Yes, Caitlin.
I mentioned last week, but I will promote it again. I've been doing a series of 2-ish minute videos where I talk about different calls to action and ways to do them. If you have not done that sort of a thing before, I have 1.5 on calling your representatives and how to find scripts and how to find numbers and how to find who you need to call. And then an email link. And also, I just did one about buying eSIMs. So if you want to know how to do that or have been nervous about doing it, you can put that video on and I will sit and do it with you. So check it out. Some secondary worthy causes to donating, but yeah, all on my Twitter or X or whatever the hell.
Twitter corpse. Yeah. All right. Anybody else have any announcements? Yes, Eliza.
So Storyloom is going to be closing down at the end of this month, February. I have 2.1 stories on there, so go check them out before it closes down. I'm making plans to take those stories and put them elsewhere, but for now, that's the only place to find Welcome to the Blood Bar and Anaya the Hunter Town on Fire. So go check those out before Storyloom goes kaput.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, Eliza. And Sam, I'm assuming you've got something?
I do. Unfortunately, I have to apologize because it is more appropriate to our previous campaign.
Oh, okay. Fire away.
Because that was the dinosaur campaign. And so when I tell you that we found Cretaceous era mosquitoes encased in amber, you might wonder, can we do a Jurassic Park now? A question that would have been most applicable to that campaign, and yet here we are on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@delevely, DELEVELY, where I answer that precise and very clickbaity question. It's a lovely romp into how far we've come since 1990, when that book was written and when the idea of Jurassic Park was conceived. The foundations of molecular biology didn't even exist yet. Scientists do it for the science, but they also do it for the memes. Go find out more. But in the meantime, in a less Cretaceous era, we got a cat. I'm excited.
I just have to add this. Sam's, you're so worried about whether we could in that episode. You should have been thinking about whether we should.
No, we should. That I never worried about it for a moment. We absolutely should.
Okay.
All right, Ox Crew. Let's go ahead and begin tonight's episode of Beacon. Welcome back. Today, we open the next chapter in the lives of the crew of the Ilios and these employees of this charity beacon out on the edges of space. You've just returned from perhaps the most harrowing experience you've all had together, and that's saying something considering what you've been through, the creatures you've encountered. I have to pause because we just crashed through that last goal. I didn't get 10 words in the damn narrative before we crashed through. We're now at 1659.
This
Oh my
is
God.
for me. I'm sorry.
That will unlock our Oops Owl Predators
Oh,
2 hour one shot that we'll be doing here on Althaven.
For real, you guys, this is such a good cause, but also like thank you for me personally.
Caitlin is grateful. It also means that Sam is now burdened with glorious
purpose and nothing else.
Yep. Sam has to give us, if we are fortunate enough to hit the monster goal of 2K as the stretch goal. Sam will have to think about what it's going to be. You want to think about that and get back to us? Or do you have an idea?
I don't, given what they're doing, I'm not sure my idea is a 2K shaped idea. We might need a bigger goal.
It's up to you.
Oh.
We're going to need a bigger goal. All right. The crew of the Ilios has just returned on the Coral Sea. When arriving at Beacon Station, your lives have already changed dramatically. So is the landscape for Beacon itself. The director, Camilla Varela, who was a former Weyland-Yutani employee, who fled Weyland-Yutani, started up this nonprofit charity here on the edge of space to help the frontier, has been exposed for trafficking in the most dangerous bioweapon humankind has ever encountered, namely the xenomorph. Most inaccurately described as a bioweapon, but definitely categorized as one considering how it's been used. Now, you guys had that mission where you attempted to rescue Varela's son. You encountered the synth who inflicted his own wounds on the crew of the Ilios, killing your pilot and good friend, Jackson O'Donnell, before fleeing in the Rasmussen, which was one of the ships that Beacon had. You managed to track the synth down, confront him on the planet's side and an ancient ruin, and thwart his plans, but not before Varela lost her son. Fortunately, you weren't able to recover him. However, you were able to stop what you can only assume to be something of a catastrophe, as Maitland was about to unleash what you can only imagine to be a whole new breed of Xenos on this planet. You've had a little bit of some downtime on your travel here back to the station. It's been a couple of weeks. In that time, you've had a bit of a confrontation with the Colonial Marine Corps. Now, thankfully, things have seemingly resolved themselves, but it would appear that some bending of the rules was required to avoid throwing the heroes in the brig and possibly pressing charges. Thankfully, it didn't come to that, because out here on the edge of space, especially for fellow Marines, and because sometimes the rules just aren't as simple out here, things get a little more granular, some workarounds were reached, favors were cashed in, and Captain Levine has decided not to confiscate your synthetic from you and box them for violating the UN Charter rules on synthetics operating without inhibitor chips. It's literally against colonial law to have a synth without an inhibitor chip. Captain Levine has decided, much to his chagrin, to turn and pretend he didn't know that, because Isaac saved lives, lots of them, particularly saved the lives of his own fire team. So he's letting it slide for now. And of course, there was the incident with not wanting to turn over the data. That's where things got even dicier, considering that was highly valued classified data that the United America's Colonial Marine Corps was sent there to retrieve. That was the incident that almost ended in incarceration, but thankfully, things seem to have resolved. and you have all finally arrived back at Beacon Station. You were greeted in the airlock as you were all stepping out to see that the station itself was a flurry of activity. People down on the docking decks that seem like they are moving shipping containers around, equipment being loaded into docking areas. It looks like they're packing. And when you stepped off Coral Sea, you met with the former XO, Preston Baker. Former XO, because now he's technically in control of the station with Varela under arrest and headed back for trial. And Baker dropped the bombshell on all of you. Beacon is being shut down. It's over. Picking up tonight in the former office of Camilla Varela. Mr. Impressive is currently purring and rubbing up against Preston as he leans up against the desk. Outside the great window that looks out over the great expanse of inky black space, speckled with starlight, you can see the Coral Sea leaving and pulling away from dock as it gets ready to make its FTL jump. You've seen signs as you've traveled through the decks, the faces of employees here at Beacon. You're looking at about 120 people that have just been laid off and don't know what they're going to do next. Many of them gave up a lot of opportunity and moved out here on the fringes of space that has been explored to help people and to work. It's only been a few months and it's already crashing down. Worse, some of the commercial business ventures that were starting to open up on C deck are discovering that suddenly their lease is invalid as the station is being shuttered, possibly scuttled. That's what you're hearing right now from Preston Baker. Preston has been leaning up against the desk, his thick arms folded over his barreled chest as he's been staring down at his feet and successfully ignoring the cat that's desperately trying to get a piece of attention. But Preston's face would indicate that his mood is unsalvageable. He's just laid it all on you. Essentially, word got back, as per the reports, of the arrest of Camilla Varela. Waylon Yutani was informed, and since they were the ones that granted the money for the foundation of Beacon to be established, they have now canceled their grant and have cut financial ties to the station. They are the only ones that have a legal claim to the station. So Preston Baker's last broadcast was from Waylon Yutani administration, letting everybody know that the station is going to be shuttered and all assets are going to be liquidated. Severance pay will be given in the next 6 weeks. You are to evacuate within the next 3 days. And the silence that has fallen over the office as he's said this has well answered his mood. He seems to also be in the same sense of disappointment and crushing heartbreak as anybody else who's heard the news. And to add even more weight to this being dropped on all of you, outside the window, you can see that there are fewer ships coming to the station, almost as if their transponders have already been alerted to the fact that this is no longer a way station. Everything that Beacon has in its cargo is considered liquidation. It is not to be given away. It is not to be used to help people. It is not to be used for anything else. It is going to market. It is to be brought back to Earth where it will go to market. And that is where we begin tonight's episode, as you all sit quietly in the former CEO's office. You can still see a picture of Camilla Varela's son on the desk, and an empty carton of cigarettes that's just laying next to the chair.
Nobody. Y'all don't think anybody will mind if I take this, do you? Place to the picture.
Kristen glances over it and says, I don't think she's coming back for it, Doc. You want it, it's yours.
Yeah. Seems an awful shame and a waste, all things considered.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to you guys down there, but I got a snapshot from Captain Levine before he rode off into the sunset. And, are you all right?
We're all in one piece.
And I wish I had better news. I do, but this is what happens anytime you try to do some good out here, you know? This is what happens.
What will
We
you be
didn't-
doing?
What's that?
What about you? What are you doing?
Well, I've got to fly one of the ships back. They're planning on either scrapping them or selling them. The Bison are pretty old, but after that, looking for a job.
You know, I think that there is an overwhelming amount of things to be sad about. And I think that's easy. I don't like doing things that are easy. And if there is to be a silver lining, it is that we do have a little bit of time to ourselves. And I know a certain someone that earned a doctorate, and we have not had the chance to honor that.
I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about, but
I want to throw a party for the cat to try and make my friends feel better.
you want to throw a party for the cat?
Yes.
Glances down at Mr. Impressive, who is just staring up at him and doing like the kitty head dip. Like, am I gonna rub against you? Am I gonna? No. He glances back at you and says, "Doc, I think a party sounds about right."
If we've got to come home attempting to have done something, we might as well. What is it? My daughter used to say, "Get turned about it."
I don't know that one, but
I don't think I used it right.
Well,
I haven't read that one.
It's from classic hip hop, I believe.
Oh, I'll have to learn more about that.
anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I don't know if you've got things to pack. We've only got 3 days before we got to be out of here, and after that, we're all trespassing.
And I'm sure they'll have somebody to escort us out. And I don't imagine that escort will be exactly friendly. So I suppose you're right.
That's all I got. Thank you for all your hard work.
Whole station together.
Yeah, I know. I know, Isaac.
Why
I
would
know.
you just scuttle it?
Because
good
stations
now.
like this cost a lot of money to run. This one's really old, and Wayland-Yutani doesn't want to move it around another system. It takes a lot to tow these things from sector to sector. Instead of just simply towing it back, I think they're either going to try to liquidate it or just crash it.
But it's a perfectly good station, and everyone here wanted to help people, and we have the supplies to help people, and we have the ships to help people. Why can't we just help people?
Who's going to pay for it?
Can't we just help?
Who's going to pay for it, Isaac? You need fuel. You need food. You need paycheck for personnel. You got to keep the lights on. We need parts. To say nothing of the fact that I don't even know if the UA would permit us, or hell with the UA. I don't even know if the ICC would be all right with us operating out here without any kind of formalities. Plus, we still are technically, this place is still under ownership of Wayland Yutani through backdoor politics. So
I, for one, would love to put my vast income towards it, but again, that is something that I'm not exactly sure I could convince my board of trustees to approve.
unless you've got about $85 billion, Doc.
I'm a little short, but I'll gladly pay for a burger today for one tomorrow. But it's a old comic strip thing. Never mind.
Well, you might have enough to make an offer on one of the ships, but besides that, I would say I would put the word out to friends. Find something for you guys. I'll keep an ear to the ground. Do what I can for you. Also, if you wouldn't mind keeping an ear to the ground for me.
Of course.
Well, I guess that's it.
Hope to see you at the party. Dr. Impressive has worked really hard for his credentials.
I'll bring the cat. Actually, on second thought, glances down and says, I'm not much of a cat person. I don't know if you've noticed. And Varella's not coming back for him. Would one of you like to take care of this little bastard?
I promise I will.
I think that's an excellent idea, Isaac.
Do I pick up that you were about to volunteer? Like, does Isaac see it?
Baby.
Would you like me to make a roll about it for you now?
Sure, if that's okay with you, Eric.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Sure. If y'all want to let the dice
Rolford
decide.
does Doc like the kitty. That one's cocked. I don't see it, which is really funny.
Yes.
Good. There we are. I have an idea now, Eric, and I really am scared of it.
Okay. Oh, for fundraising?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
I don't want to say I'm scared.
Excellent.
We believe in you. Remember who you are.
Simba. Let's hear it. What you got?
Samba.
So we're doing the Oops All Predator thing.
Yeah. Yes. Go on.
But I don't know anything about Predator.
Ah, I see where this is going. You are uncultured in the way of Predator.
For charity.
Mm-hmm.
And exclusively for charity and not for any other reason. Any other goram reason, because I was
Sure.
I will watch along for Predator.
You want to do a watch along for Predator?
I will do a watch along of Predator.
Oh my god.
Like a
the
live watch
community.
along on Discord or something for Stream Pump?
Yeah, like Discord, Twitch, we will do
However we do
a
it.
watch along. I will do it, and any Bacon staff who want to join. I mean, I know some of us just obviously aren't interested.
Okay.
But I found it. The only thing that's more scary than volunteering a GM goal.
Let me just tell you, y'all missed the glory of watching Sam endure Aliens, the Aliens universe.
Don't even.
But Predator is a different kind of horror, and I'm very excited about this. I guess we'll have to decide. Should we watch Prey which is first chronologically, or Predator, the iconic original?
You only get one, chat. You do not get more than one. You do not get more than one.
Man,
That we would need such a big goal to get bigger than
that's rough. I might
get
say,
one.
I don't know. What do you think, Caitlin?
I have thoughts, and I think I think we could chat.
Yeah, we have to
Okay.
get there first. Chat has to
Okay.
get
Yeah.
there.
We have to
Yeah,
get
also-
there first. I'm getting a little
Yeah.
ahead of myself.
I mean,
You know what I said?
they're not
Also
even
for
gonna do it. Like, we don't have to
I see
worry
what you
about
mean.
it.
Chat, this goal is also for me. I'm also you're doing this for charity and also for me.
Caitlin's like, you don't understand. I need this.
I
Okay.
already regret this. Okay.
So at 2K, we are going to drag Sam into a watch along of one of the Predator films, a live watch along with Oxcrew and anybody else who joins us. That's going to be great. I'm very excited about this. Okay. That'll be our 2K goal. Just want to point out that at the moment we've raised 1,600, which is unbelievable and is so
1735 and
amazing.
69 cents. It's way too close to Predator for my liking.
Thank you guys so much. Every dollar helps. Thank you so much. We'll jump back in and we'll see how long that goal lasts. But for now, with that, a rather deflated Baker pushes himself off the desk and tells everybody, by the way, you can have free reign around here at the office if you want. I don't particularly feel like claiming this is mine since I've got to go pack up mine, so stay here as long as you like. I'll see you at the party, I suppose.
See you at the party.
He gives you a friendly pat on the shoulder, Isaac, as he steps past you and leaves you guys to the office. It feels weird being in here without Varela. You're used to seeing her stand there at the desk, but it's just all of you.
I think through all of this like discussion, Tig has just been very dejected. Like, well, what's like this is resigned. This is what it is. I guess there's nothing to do about it. While there's been sort of talk of what if, and then as soon as Baker said that we could didn't care that we were in the office, Tig suddenly sits up as soon as he leaves, and kind of looks over at Martha. Is there Varela's computer here?
Mm-hmm.
Tig kind of gets up and goes to sit in front of it, and then goes, "Hey, Martha, you want to give me a hand with something real quick?"
What do you have in mind, Tig?
Baker said something about how technically Beacon is caught up in the bureaucracy of being owned by Weyland-Yutani. What are the chances we can get the exact wording on that?
Looking up the legalese, per
Yeah.
se? Yeah.
We're laughing because Jake just said, "Welp."
Is it done? It is done.
That is a
is
dead
it?
goal of $2,000.
Holy crap.
Oh, what have I
Y'all
done?
blasted past that.
Yes!
All right. Well, oh
Not
my
again.
good God, y'all.
Dang, y'all.
This
Holy
stream is a
shit.
gift
We
for
are
me. Let's
40
go!
minutes into tonight's session and we have raised 2K. You guys, but I just want to pause and say before we jump back into the game, I truly hope you understand that amidst all the goofing and role playing and stuff like that, the help that you guys just gave to an incredibly important, incredibly timely cause. Thank you so much for your outrageous generosity. It means the world. Beacon staff, Oxcrew, y'all are amazing.
Yeah, y'all
Absolutely
are supporting
amazing.
Beacon IRL.
Chandra
And
says
making
we
sure
are.
that what happens here doesn't happen in our timeline. in our
Chandra
world.
says we're at 24.91 and is
Yeah.
proposing that we watch both movies at 3K. Which would be Prey and then Predator. I suppose we'd have to watch it in.
My
Oh.
favorite double feature is will get people heated, but my double feature is Predator 2 and then Prey. And
Oh, I appreciate you.
I will be
appreciate
people do not agree with that, and that is where I stand. That does not need to be the thing we do, but
Danny
I
Glover
I
is
will pick-
amazing. All right.
He's so good.
He's so good in that movie.
He's so good.
Um,
It's way sillier. It's way sillier.
It
Even
is.
the first one's
It's
pretty silly.
priceless. Okay. So I'll let Sam, if you're willing to do a double feature, Maybe not necessarily in the same sitting, because I know that's a lot,
Oh my God.
but maybe
Sorry. Wow. Okay, so there's my
Maybe
response
we'll,
to that one, I guess.
maybe we'll see. But yeah, maybe at 3K we'll unlock both watch-alongs, and we'll go.
I
from
feel
there.
like there should be like something in between the second movie.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. I think there should be something in between. I think there should
I
be
got
something
it.
Oh yeah.
in
Oh yeah.
between,
Oh, yeah,
frankly,
yeah.
like obviously it should be
I'll let you tell me. You tell me. I'm open to all suggestions, and I am watching. Kari's like, can't we do a Studio Ghibli watch along?
No, no.
Yeah, we'll confirm the break, Crafty Geek. I think that's a solid play. We will keep taking. We're gonna keep taking suggestions because holy hell, I think you guys get a say and get some suggestions in.
What?
I think that's totally valid. Alien
Chat
versus
is
Predator.
joking.
is
You're gonna
being
make me
picked.
watch 7 Saw movies by the time we're done.
No,
with Chat
no,
House.
no.
We will
No,
never
no.
do that to you.
Chat, you're joking about having Alien versus Predator, but that is if it's a 3 movie, that is the next one. I'm not kidding. Those are
Yeah.
my 3 favorite movies in that franchise.
I was gonna say,
You're
Caitlin's
gonna need like 5 digits of number for me to ever see anything again with alien in the title.
Hey,
Well, chat, I have opinions.
I know it's not in theme, but I want to put it out there. Sam has also never seen Terminator, and that's one of my favorites. So I'm just gonna toss that out there
Well,
too.
you have exactly $9 to think about it.
Okay, great. $9 to think about it.
There are 2 suggestions that I think are really cool if anybody's curious.
Yeah.
Someone suggested a Doctor Who one shot, and I saw somebody mention Leverage Redemption, and I've got the Leverage ttrpg system. I will gladly run us through it if anybody's
Done.
interested in Leverage.
I will gladly offer up a Doctor Who, a Doctors and Daleks. We'll happily offer that up.
Dope.
Yep. So, what do you want to say? If we hit what 35, you do yours. How do we want to do that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know why this commercial is on my thing. Yeah, 35. I'll do Leverage Redemption with the crew.
Doctor Who's Without
Crime.
Borders, Rogan,
Yes,
you're too
please
good.
give me a palate cleanser of crime.
Okay, we will
Doctor Who
come
is
back
all
to
for-
this.
I get it now.
We will come back to this.
Yes.
Let's get back into the narrative tonight. But holy hell, you guys are absolutely amazing, and we'll keep tracking that. Okay. To conclude at 3,500, if we are fortunate enough to hit the 3,500, we will do that. Otherwise, then yeah, I say the grand goal. If we hit 4K, if we manage to achieve that extraordinarily lofty height, I will absolutely dust off the Doctor Who books, and we will do an episode of Doctor Who Without Borders. Okay.
I'm so sorry we broke right into your scene, Tig and Martha.
Yeah.
We apologize for
important,
this
important.
interruption.
It's okay.
Proposing fundraising goals for crime while y'all were busy doing crime. Please, crime on.
So
Tig,
movie
no, we have to
unlocked
talk about my
and game
favorite movie of all
unlocked.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
yeah.
Tig just sat down at a computer, and this is what she saw. Like, so it makes sense in
Okay.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
So Martha says, yeah, let's look up some of that ownership legalese.
Not that I'll know anything about anything, but I mean, if we can get some eyes on it. He did sound not very. It sounded like it was a legal technicality. Maybe we can
Also,
work with that.
he kept saying like if we can find someone to pay for it, so if someone can just buy it from Wayland Yutani, maybe.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know anybody with money except for Doc,
Yeah.
human Doc, not cat Doc. All right, looking at Farella's computer.
Okay, you want to hack this thing?
Yeah, is it just simple password protected right now? from the
Yes.
looks of it?
As you tap it, you see the green, of course, the iconic green digital font just pop up on the screen. Essentially, you are going to be trying to access this, and to give you an idea of what you were attempting to do here, Martha, you're going to have to bypass Mother's security system.
Oh, Mother,
Mm-hmm.
my dear old friend, Mother.
She is the one that is currently controlling the security system. But if I remember correctly, the system on this station is a Mother 6000. which
I can grab that from my notes, but we have 3340.
oh my god. Oh my god.
That's still not 35. Don't worry about it. We good.
So that means we're definitely doing another movie watch, and it means we're well on our way to.
No. We were spacing those out. We were spacing those out. No.
3,500 is leverage. 4K is the next watch party, and then I think it's 45 is Doctor.
No, it was definitely
No,
no.
we're
We didn't
gonna
put-
yeah. Doctor
no.
Who's at 4K, but
Oh.
yeah. So if we hit
That means it's not until 5K that I have to be scared. Except I already had to be scared at 2K, but like really, like more though.
They ain't got that little Sammy fine.
you're gonna hack, if you're gonna
I
hack the
believe
mother,
we're there. We are at
Oh.
35.
we're at 3,500 now.
Yeah.
Good God, you guys! Holy crap! Holy crap!
Thank you.
Holy crap!
Thank you for the palette.
Okay, they might have
Support.
some gusto. Whatever.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my
Get ready
God.
for our crime smar. Also, speaking of crime, I have in my notes that I have Aurelius access codes.
You do.
You do have Arella's access code. She gave those to you.
Oh.
When she was really depresso espresso.
Okay.
So
Also,
That's
our
I can
mother,
give those to Martha.
episode 1, mother. We wrote down that our mother system is outdated. On Beacon, it's Mother 7000.
oh, that's an outdated system.
That's what I've written down.
I think. Oh no, it's because she hasn't been maintained in a while, but that's probably changed. But yes, she is an old Mother 7000 system. Most industrialized stations have Mother 6000s to 7000s. Up there, the more modern ships carry the 7000s or the 800 or 8000s.
I think the Aelios was older, and then the station.
Yeah, the Aelios has a Mother 6000 system, which is
Oh,
basically
yeah.
the same as the Mother system on the Nostromo.
But then Beacon itself, I have written down, has 7000.
Beacon has an interactive Mother system. So you basically are going to use Varella's access codes here?
Well, looking at the computer, I start to get ready to hack.
Okay.
Waiting
then-
for Isaac to.
what are you doing?
We were about to try to get into Varella's computer.
Oh. I mean, I can do that.
Oh,
Do you need me to do that?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
yes, please.
Okay.
Well, that was easy.
I just walked.
Both of us just like.
Yep.
And I'll input Varella's definitely not password 123 and mention over my shoulder. When I asked if there was anything she needed me to take care of, I thought she was thinking of something on here. Like stuff to delete. Or like her blackmail material. Didn't she say she had tons of blackmail material on Wayland Utani? Would that keep stations open?
Oh.
Log in.
You gain access to Camilla Varella's files. You see her personal message system is the first thing to pop up. She's got a couple of messages. Most of it looks like junk mail, but there is one that is repeated a couple of times. It looks like she's had a conversation with somebody recently. Somebody by the name of... Ready for a name? Anthony Mendoza of the Extrasolar Colonization Administration.
Of the,
Couple-
sorry, can you say the name of that again?
Anthony Mendoza.
The organization.
Extrasolar Colonization Administration. There's a couple of messages on the board from him. Apparently, he messaged her before. It looks like it's dated from before you guys even arrived at Beacon. A second message from a few months ago, and then a third message as recently as last week.
I'd like to click and read all three of them.
The first message is an introductory message. This Anthony Mendoza, the message as you see it read out, is reaching out to her on behalf of the Extrasolar Colonization Administration. Goes on to say, you of course know who we are. We usually go by the ECA for shorts. We've had dealings with Wayland Utani in the past, but We know that you're no longer a part of the corporation, and we thought it would be wise to approach you since the organization that you're attempting to start completely synchronizes with the entire purpose of the ECA. We were wondering if there is opportunities for collaboration. We don't have, currently we are backlogged on supply chains from the effects of both the colony war and the frontier war. And if you are willing to hire out ships, then we would be willing to discuss further sponsorship of the Beacon program in exchange for helping us get supplies to people who need them. Varella's simple reply is, thank you for your interest. But unfortunately, right now, Beacon is in no condition to engage in any activities. The station is only just now getting underway, and Wayland Yutani has sent me pieces of junk for ships that I need to repair before I can engage in any kind of conversation about doing any other work. Please reach out to me again in a few months' time. We can talk then. The next message is Anthony Mendoza, once again checking in. Camilla Varela, I've been watching a lot of the news feeds, and I've been seeing that Beacon has been getting a lot of positive press. I imagine you must be enjoying a little bit of rubbing that in your former employer's face. I understand that you all are now underway, and we have a situation that is slowly developing. If you would like to talk more, I would still like to discuss an offer of hiring Beacon out for doing some very important work for the ECA. Her reply is, unfortunately, Beacon is occupied and cannot work with any other activities at this time. Thank you for your interest. And then the third message is a final message from Anthony Mendoza that just says, Director Varela, I apologize if I'm being a bit pushy. I'm a bit desperate at this point. I'm willing to pay quite well if you're interested in talking about this. I know that Beacon Station relies heavily on grant money, but the ECA does have funding from the UN as well as the UA, and we are attempting to help people on the frontier, same as Beacon. Please contact me at your early possible convenience. I would love to have a video chat with you. I'm even willing to pay for the access of the extraplanar hyperspace communications networks, which should only enact a 5 to 6 second lag. Signed, Anthony Mendoza, manager of ECA administration, and she didn't reply to that. That was about a week ago. She was obviously indisposed.
Are we familiar with this organization?
Yes, you would be. The ECA, I mean, particularly those of you who have had any kind of contact with any government or anybody who has been out on the frontier. The ECA, I'll read you straight from the lore of the book. Often simply called the Colonial Administration, the Extrasolar Colonization Administration mission is to protect colonial claims and advocate for the rights of all off-world colonists. The ECA was formed by the UA in the wake of the United Nations Interplanetary Core collapse 7 decades ago. They support and monitor all extrasolar colonies in stations belonging both to the UA and their allies in the Three Worlds Empire. Specifically, the ECA deals with safety protocols, fair labor standards, health and human services, colonial transport, establishment, and support. Specifically, the ECA maintains toxic exposure safety standards, keeps medicines supply lines flowing to colonies, and since its inception, the ECA has fought for colonists' rights for fair wages, better health care, stock options, and more, as they have been essentially had very public feuds with corporate lobbyists over colonists' rights, specifically regarding the Contract of Colonial Rights and Liberties, which the corporations have signed on to but exploit. That's who they are. They are not corporate owned. They were established by the United Americas. They are a separate organization.
Varela. Oh my God.
She was dealing with shady shit. She couldn't bring anything legit into this and soil their stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's just heartbreaking to see this play out. And now Beacon is shutting down. I mean, maybe they'd want to save Beacon. Maybe they'd want to buy Beacon.
Maybe they'll want to buy Beacon. Can we just reply?
ask for forgiveness, not permission, and tell Baker about
Also-
it later.
Verella's indisposed, but we can. I mean, yeah. What's our play here? We're in Verella's personal messaging. Can we just send a message to ECA outside of Verella's?
We have hit 3550. I'm just letting everyone know.
Oh my gosh.
Not that
And
impressive.
69 cents.
Yay!
That's my community
Y'all are
right there.
goddamn heroes, every single one
I
of you.
love it. Thank you.
Every single one of you. So that unlocks, so just to recap, to keep things moving forward so we don't slip away from it, that's going to unlock your one shot. Is that correct, Noir? Okay.
We're doing leverage one shot.
All right.
Do we have another goal? 4K?
I had mentioned it 4K. If y'all are willing and if y'all are interested, I'm happy to do Doctor Who Without Borders and do a special one shot of Doctor Who. It's been a hot minute since we played the game that founded the Streampunks, but happy to do it. And if Sam wants to offer up any more torture for our amusement, then we will.
Eric, shut up.
we will also accept that.
Let's talk after your one shot. How's that?
Agree. I will say this. Keep in mind, this donation link is going to be open for the week. So we have plenty of time to hit
Yes, I
some
get it. The
goals.
VOD squad can also try to torture me. I understand, Eric.
Yup.
If y'all get it to 69.69,
Well,
Oh my god.
I might just put together goddamn campaign.
Okay.
369.
We'll when we go on break, we'll take a moment to collect ourselves and maybe we'll have some more ideas for you guys when we come back. But let's go ahead and what are y'all gonna do? You've uncovered these emails, these messages that have been sent from the ECA. What would you like to do?
Martha has put it out there. Do we want to just send a message from one of us? Not from Varela?
We could just, hey, we heard you were reaching out to Beacon. There's been a change in situation and, we'd like to preserve what it's doing. If you want to be involved with that, hit us up. But we'd have to, I guess, Baker is currently acting for the next 3 days in leadership position.
Yeah.
Well,
It would be cheaper for Wayland Yutani to just sell off the ships and not spend all the fuel to bring them back to Earth and then liquidate them, right?
Right. Yeah.
I don't see the harm in having a quick conversation with Baker. Letting them know of our intention.
See if you would want to be the new head or help or send a message.
It's what he wanted, wasn't it? He felt like he got cheated by Varela getting the headspace. I mean, if it's what he actually wanted this place to be to begin with, and he gets to sit in the chair, maybe.
Well, don't this fancy here office have a way to use the intercom system? Isn't that how the director would summon us?
Oh, of course.
Well, I for one have always wanted to take that for us, man.
Martha strolls over to the comm system, wherever it is. Where is it?
On the side of her desk.
Oh, okay. It's right on the side.
Simple
And I
number
wave.
pad, Mother access. There's just a simple like an inlay inside the desk with a code and a keyboard on it, used for just one hand to access station controls.
Oh, I guess Isaac, could you do the honors?
Of course. Beep, boop. Beep,
You
boop,
gain
beep.
access. Mother gives you full access to the station's intercom systems. You see a directory pop up of which portions of the station you can access.
Oh, I could yell at everybody. It's just some people.
There is a calm all button.
no
Essentially, you
one
see
man
that.
should have all that power.
Certainly not us.
Maybe me.
Baker,
Yeah.
wherever you are, could you please make your way to Varela, the office formerly belonging to Director Varela? We would like to have words with you.
He left like 2 minutes ago. Poor guy.
Your voice echoes across Beacon Station on every deck as everyone pauses their work and looks up.
You know how like you know what you're going to say, but then you press the button and then
Yep.
it just kind of goes away from you.
I mean, I'm a GM. Yes.
I just feel like I just feel like it's very loud.
Like he did that thing. That
There's a little bit
people
of a
do
squeal.
He did that thing people do at drive-thrus where he's yelling like way
Yeah,
too
yeah.
loud.
Yeah, where
Like,
they
it's
don't
picking
need
up.
to yell.
This
Can I
isn't
get
a function of volume.
a-
This is a function of enunciation, my friends. Yep. Yes, I'm very
Um,
familiar with the draft. Yep.
Also, on the tail end of that message, Martha's gonna run over to wherever her Dr. Impressive is, and
Okay.
if the cat doc, will allow her to scoop them up,
Mhm.
bring the cat over to the comm system and see if we can get a little cat squeak on there.
Meow.
I mean, Mr. Impressive does that thing that cats do where you pick him up and he just noodles and you just kind of dangle him
Yeah,
as you carry
sounds
over
like-
to the intercom system and
A little sign
You-
off.
set him down and he just kind of glances to the left or right. You reach down and give him a gentle squeeze and you absolutely get it.
It went all throughout the system. When you weren't looking, I hit all. So everybody heard it.
As the power goes to your heads. A few
I'm
minutes
5
pass.
years old right now.
Yeah.
I literally.
The doors to the office open as Preston strides into the room with an incredulous look on his face and says, "Party already start?"
No.
Okay, so don't be mad. Also, just referring back to the conversation we had before you left, you told us we could hang out in here and do with the space what you will. But
That
we
is true. I did say
so
that.
we
That
did.
is true. Yes.
Yes. But there's more. Martha, do you want to show your? I assume you're still at the computer.
Oh, sure.
We found something that might help.
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, apparently the ECA has been in touch with Beacon through Varela, but Varela was not super responsive, and it sounds like a really good deal they were laying on the table for Beacon.
Moves around the side of the desk and he kind of cocks his head to the left a little bit as he starts reading and he says, "How the hell do you have access to Varela's files?"
Oh,
Remember when she wasn't talking to anyone and she wouldn't accept anyone coming into her quarters or anything? Almost anyone.
Right. Okay. Well, then this isn't breaking in then. And he leans over and starts looking at the screen and starts reading it. His face begins to change a little bit and goes, Huh. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Huh. She never told me she was talking to the ECA.
I told these guys she probably didn't want to be involved with a legitimate program.
Right. More people here in an official fashion would have probably complicated things.
Mhm.
Huh. So what are we thinking? Maybe we reach out to him?
I mean, they're
Yeah.
willing to video call. So,
Shit.
and
mean-
last
That's
was
pretty
dated a
serious.
week, a couple days ago.
At the very least, we could say we've got a ton of staff here. Why don't
Mhm.
you hire us?
Yeah.
Yeah. Help some
We do
people
have a
out.
ton of staff here. Yeah.
You're acting chair at the moment, so at least for the next 3 days, if you feel like sticking to that, this might make it stick.
I mean, if this station is supposed to be a beacon of hope for everybody in space, we might as well use a little for ourselves, eh?
Be damned. It's a long shot. Let's not get too excited. The offer may not be good anymore. Who knows? He may have moved on, but let's
It's been
Let's
good for a couple
see.
months, so well, I haven't
He's-
felt very hopeful the past 72 hours of wakefulness, so I think that I'm gonna latch onto this for a little bit, at least until Dr. Impressive's party. So
All due respect to everybody, they were negotiating with her. Now, I'm not to say that she was difficult, but I am going to say that I think that we stand a better chance if they're negotiating with somebody like you, Baker.
Well, all right, I'm going to send a reply. I'm just going to try this.
Worst they say is no, right? And
Worst they
and
say is no. Worst they say
yeah.
is no.
Then we're just right back where we were before we entered her computer with full authorization due to having her
Yeah.
access codes.
Exactly.
You-
Worst case scenario, nothing happens. It's good. It's fine.
You hear the somewhat comforting, gentle thudding of his thick fingers against the keyboard as he just starts typing up a reply. Introduces himself as the XO of the station and starts letting him know Varela is currently no longer operating chief of Beacon. This is our situation right now. If you're interested in blah blah, you see him typing up using quite official language, very professional. As he finishes typing it out, ready to contact at your convenience. And
CC yourself. CC yourself.
good idea. Types that in.
Do we want to let them know we have a timeline here? Are we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've already including the 3. We gotta have to be out in 3 days. That reminds me. And he hits enter and he gets ready to send, and you see options appear up on the screen. You've seen these before. This is typical when it comes to corporate messaging across interstellar space. You see options to buy access, because right now sending this message back to Earth, it's going to take a little over 4 weeks. However,
Yeah, we can't wait that long.
However, if you're willing to shell out money, he scrolls down to look at the options, and you see the quickest delivery option is 2 days,
Oh, it's pretty tight.
and it costs a chunk of change. You see the price tag popping up. It's used mostly for executive and I would say official business, like government official stuff. But as you see the $50,000 price tag pop up on the screen, he just goes, Jesus.
Just
Oh
gonna
my
look
God.
at him and I'm gonna go, well, that's far less than 8 billion. I mean, if you need help.
He glances over at you and he says, I've never had that kind of money in my account in my life. Even when I had long stretches in deep space as a trucker. If you want to put up for it, Doc, but you got to understand, if you decide to spend money on that, it's money that goes away. We have no guarantee that we're ever going to hear back from him.
Well, wouldn't be the worst investment I've ever made. I'll give you the info.
Moves aside as you take over into the controls. You start entering your information, forwarding account numbers and whatnot. It immediately runs a check on your name, confirms that you have funds, registers the debt, sends it along, and you pay out $50K of your rather sizable money. It is gone in a blink. It says
That hurts.
message sent.
Oh, that hurts.
Think you can write that off in your taxes?
Hey.
I'm probably gonna get yelled at by my daughter about it, but it's fine.
How do taxes work?
Not very
Oh,
well, you unsurprisingly.
Yeah, I have no idea.
No, that's why I'm asking. This is a later question, isn't it?
It's a later
Uh-huh.
question,
We'll
Isaac.
work on it, yeah. Wow. Okay.
Okay. Well, we have 2 days to wait for a response.
Good.
Best pack just in case.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody either. Let's not get anybody's hopes up. I'd hate to just yank the carpet out from underneath them as soon as they thought that there's a way that we could keep moving forward. I'd hate to fire them twice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see, he seems conflicted about his own call on that and just kind of rubs
Yeah.
and says,
I think takes us. I mean, if you're upfront about the unlikelihood, if everybody's shipping out in the next 24 hours,
I can't.
I'll
I
have to
can't.
turn around.
I had to be the one to look them in the eyes and tell them that they were all employed now. I mean, many
Hope's
of them are
different than a
trying to.
promise.
Let me put it this way. Many of them are using what money they've got to book trips home. They can't get off the station in 3 days to consider trespassers, and Wayland Yutani will send a team in here to deal with them.
I would just like to say that in this moment, we might be potentially starting a new life for Beacon. the life that Beacon had before was one that was doused in subterfuge and all sorts of skullduggery. I think that people are smart enough to make their own decision if given the facts of what is happening. I understand not wanting to fire them twice, but I also understand that in this place, more than anywhere, a little bit of hope goes a long way.
You're right. No more secrets. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Goes over to the intercom.
Can I? You can do the best. Can I just press the button?
Yes, you can press the button.
Team's so slap happy. I love it.
Preston gets on the intercom. You hear his voice echo throughout the station as he begins to announce to all station staff. He's so sorry for what they're having to go through right now. And he doesn't want to give anybody false hope. But there may be a way out of this. At the very least, there may be opportunity. He keeps it short and sweet. And he makes sure everybody knows it's a long shot. They don't exactly know what they're getting into. They don't know if the clock is going to run out, if there's going to be enough time to turn this around, considering the wheels of bureaucracy. I mean, it may be too late to cut any kind of deal. And he doesn't know if he even has the right to do that. He's technically the XO of the station, but he doesn't own it. So we'll see what happens. But he lets the Beacon staff know, echoing all throughout the dark corridors of the poorly lit station, from the concourse deck, life support deck, cargo and engineering platform, all the way up to the science module, and of course the comms platform at the very top of the tower. Everyone listens closely as Preston speaks on the intercoms. Few of them exchanging glances. Few of them getting a little hope in their eyes. Even Jocasta has a moment where she tips her chin back a little bit, seems to consider smiling and nodding and clapping her hands together and rubbing them like we've got a shot here. Villalobos up in the traffic tower, nodding. Probably the most unknown of all the people, this 29-year-old kid who's up at the top of the traffic tower, spending most of his time listening to comm traffics and blasting music. This is all he has. Listening to it, chewing on his nail and nodding along. When Preston finishes and takes his hand off the comm, he turns and looks at everybody and says, I guess now we wait.
Now we wait.
On that note, I say that is a perfect moment to actually take an early break. Let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break.
Woo!
During that break, I want you guys to tell me, or just before we come back, I'd like to know what you guys do over the next couple of days while you're waiting for the reply, because it is going to be an anxiety-filled, hopeful few days for the staff of Beacon. While that's happening, we're also going to confer about some more options as you guys absolutely Death Star the goal, and we will be back in about 10 minutes. So we'll see you
Hashtag Death
then.
Star the goal.
Everywhere.
In a world without magic, a world much like our own, danger still creeps around every corner. But where there's danger, there's always someone willing to take up the risk.
And opens her mouth wide.
God, is there anybody normal in this city at all?
Well, you know me, boys. I do love an apocalyptic event.
Since 2020, $2 Creature Feature has delivered a high-quality Monster of the Week podcast in association with Althaven ttrpg Network. In Season 1, we traveled with Severus Vardy's Traveling Fun Fair. In Season 2, we solved the mystery of what lurks at the heart of Jupiter Hollow. Now, a new team must stand up to the threats that are out of this world. $2 Creature Feature proudly presents Season 3, Atlas.
What would happen if the whole world knew monsters existed? That they could be your neighbor, your barista, or your childhood bully? Hi, we're Pest Control, a mostly Monster of the Week actual play show that just started our second season, and we're asking exactly those questions.
We are another tabletop podcasting show, but we utilize Monster of the Week very well. It feels almost like you are watching a show. It gets really dark.
Yeah, and in between all that, we're a little bit of silly little goofers.
Sam enables some extremely impactful story moments built up from themes and creature designs.
I'm William, they, them, and I'm playing Kelly Aberdeen, he, him, who is a vigilante who wants more than anything to be a monster and cannot become one.
I'm Sam, she, they, and I'm playing Nami, she, her, who is an angel who fucked up and has to make up for it.
My name is Jonas, they, them, and I'm playing Rabbit Moon, he, they, she, a demon boy who changes forms and plays with gravity. Rabbit is using the custom playbook, the Shape Changer.
And my name is Keeper Sam. Come follow Pest Control as we watch the story of Kelly, Nami, and Rabbit trying to keep the community of Norfolk safe from the encroaching influence of the city. Come check us out.
Hi, my name is Jake.
And I'm Sam.
And together we are the co-hosts of What We Know, the most watched source of all topics gaming. We have the fastest scoops, the hottest takes, and hell, the cutest co-hosts.
Can't deny that, but there's more to us than looks alone. Each episode, we take a dive into gaming-related stories of the week that interest us. Topics that make us go, wait, this couldn't be real, or hang on, wait, what? Or
the greatest thing that has ever happened to gaming ever.
Yes, things exactly like that. So check out Old Haven's YouTube, and every other Tuesday, you'll find out what we know.
Welcome back to Beacon. We're going to go ahead and jump back into the game. Before we do, though, I want to go ahead and kind of update you guys on where we're at with some of our unlock stuff. Right now, the crew is going to be getting a new cat, which has already been introduced as Mr. Impressive needs a new home. The crew is apparently going to get a new ship at some point. We've also unlocked Oops, All Predators. So I'll be running a 2-hour one-shot where everyone plays the Oucha, which has already been homebrewed as part of the Alien universe. You saw me use one in the earlier seasons of Beacon. Next up, we did The Thing. Sam is going to watch one of the Predator movies. We're going to do a live watch along with the community. And
it's only because I have to actually learn what the heck they are.
It's true. Sam's got to learn what they are. It's important. It's research.
I wouldn't have watched the Alien movies without it being the research.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope you all understand what a big deal that is. I mean, it was hard enough getting Sam to play Alien. Getting Sam to watch these things is even harder. So, well
I love
done.
my stream punks. I love them so much. And you all are all genuinely doing incredible things for Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders, who provide healthcare around the world in places where it is most needed. So,
Indeed.
Scares for cares.
With that, we pushed to the next goal where Noir is going to run a game for us. So that's been unlocked. The next goal is 4K, a big one. If we hit it, though, I am going to once again return to my roots and run Doctors and Daleks, Doctor Who Without Borders. And I'll develop that out and we'll send that out into the universe. And then I have now confirmation from Sam that should we hit an incredibly lofty goal of 4.5, they will watch a second Predator movie. So there will be 2 watch-alongs. Sam will endure 2 watch-alongs.
And Caitlin's deciding what the thing is.
Yeah, Caitlin's going to decide what it is. So,
I'll keep you posted.
We'll see if we can pull that educational trauma. Well said. So yes, that is going to be our remaining unlocks. Whether we hit them or not, what you guys have achieved is absolutely astounding. Thank you so much. We hope we get to hit these goals. Otherwise, we've done a phenomenal job tonight.
Eric, we're doubling up on?
Oh, thank you. That's right. We're doubling up on the Doctor Who one. On the 4K, you also have something. What were you going to do for us, Caitlin?
So we thought it would be fun to do some sort of community commissioned via charity fan art. And while we came back in and Eric was announcing those, I actually had an idea of how to juice it a little bit more.
Okay.
It's been a long time since I've done an animatic, you guys.
Oh, that is true.
I think it could be really cool if we.
Oh,
hit
we didn't even
the-
talk about that on break. Oh my goodness!
If we hit that goal, I'm gonna take suggestions of beacon scenes that you guys feel like would be a very cool animatic. I will have to figure out a time limit that I'm willing to do, but also I'm good at editing stuff down, so don't worry about it. And I will select my top like 3-4, and y'all will vote on which scene you want me to make an animatic.
There's
Okay, chat.
Cool.
Chat, you've been doing a lot to me today. You did a lot for Caitlin. You did a lot to me. Please. You owe me this.
now Sam's pulling the card. I need this. You don't understand.
It's only fair.
I just would like chat to know that one of us was just like, they're tapped out. They don't got it in them. They don't got the heart. We're not gonna make it. We're fine.
I'm safe.
Yep.
I don't know about that.
So
I see
do
some
with that
stuff happening in
information
chat.
what y'all will. Personally, I don't think we're gonna make the 5,000. I think we're gonna be fine.
On that note, as we get back into the game, I want to start the game off with everyone. I'm going to do 1-by-1 round table. I want everyone to roll a d6, starting with you, Caitlin.
Oh gosh.
Tell me what you get.
2.
All right, Noir, you're up.
Sorry, panicking.
That's okay.
1.
Okay.
Sorry,
panicking.
panicking.
Martha, if you would please.
3.
And Sam.
Also 3.
Okay.
I can't believe I agreed.
Chat's getting spicy, like calling us out. That'll work out for you. It is working out. It's standing still, right? Ain't it?
Because it is a rule in the game, I am going to allow, and I'm not going to tell you what it's for, but I'm going to allow, if you would like, you may push. You will gain a point of stress. Because
Yeah, I'm a push.
that is a rule
course
in
I'll push.
Alien. There's a rule in Alien. Every time you can push, you can do it, except for Isaac, obviously. Isaac, what I'll do is why don't you roll a second die, Isaac? Because you are compensated by the fact that you have huge dice pools for the fact that you can't push. So go ahead and roll a single die one more time.
Is 4 good? Please tell me 4 is good.
All right, Caitlin, go ahead if you want to push.
I rolled another 2.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna push 2.
Okay.
I'm
You
gonna,
gain a
I
point
would-
of stress.
I would very much like to push past this 1 that I have.
I promise. It's a 6. I rolled a 6.
You got a 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled a 5.
But I get 1
That's
level.
better
of
than a
stress.
1. Probably, maybe. We don't know what it's for, so I actually don't know that.
Yeah.
So the stress we're going to say is over the next 24 hours is a combination of that desperate hope kicking in with having to pack your belongings, pulling your clothes out of your cabin quarters and putting them in containment boxes that you're going to be carrying with you. We're at 3920 right now.
All right, impressive, but it's still
3920 is 69.
69.
So
Don't forget the 69.
Over the course of the next few days, you the silence, everyone is it's one of those things where you're constantly refreshing your email. You're looking for a return message, any kind of indication, any kind of hope that the message was received in time and then there wasn't some kind of communication glitch or something happened. I had you all roll using the alien rule, which of course does allow you to. Did we just hit 4K?
Yep. Passed
Get
it.
those drawing hands ready, Caitlin. It's
There will be
animatic.
a Doctor Who Without Borders. We're at 4195.
47.90.
47.
Oh my god.
Oh my dog.
That's still not 5,000.
Who did that? Who did that?
We're at 47.95.
Do we even have a 5K goal at this point? Like, did we have an unlock?
Oh no! It's that was a typo. We're at
Oh, we're at
4215.
Oh.
I'm okay.
Who just emptied
What I was saying was it's still not 5. You can't
My
call
God.
Reggie
My
out.
God.
But also, chat, I
4215 is still
appreciate it.
incredible. Holy shit.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
I asked, you delivered. You also delivered, and you
All
may
right.
yet, do the
I'm
other
making a
thing.
note.
But
We're going
in
to
this moment.
So you can look forward to at some point during the next game sessions here on Monday nights. We will pause our game Beacon and we will do some one shots that we unlocked with these goal unlocks. We'll give you more information about that coming up. But my friends, we will be returning to the TARDIS. So with that in mind, as we hit 4315, I'm gonna go. I know one shots.
Oh my god. That's way too close for VOD Squad.
I'm just going to call it Streampunk long shorts. From now on. Yeah.
Not just
long short shots.
One longs.
Caprice. It's Caprice.
Okay. But the 4,500 goal, as a quick reminder, is Sam having to watch yet another of the.
Oh god, it's 4415. Oh god. Why did I do this? Why did I say I could do this? Oh god.
Sam said 4,500 because they were convinced we were not going to hit that tonight. they now are experiencing what I experienced.
Dread.
Like, let's set $1,000 goal.
I even learned about that one, but
Yeah,
oh no.
4465
now. So
Oh no.
oh my
no.
god, y'all are absolute
No.
heroes.
No.
It's,
all of you.
don't worry. They're running out of steam. It's
Absolute
fine.
heroes, every one of you. So the way I was going to factor this is I rolled a die to find out sort of a die against to find out if there was an additional day or if there was a disruption in the communications, because I wanted to leave this to chance, because there's multiple directions things could go right now for the crew of the Beacon station. In this case, I rolled a 1 success and I allowed you guys to push. So I was going to basically 2 days was going to take 3 days, but because one of you landed a 6 on the day 2, there is a reply message sent back. Baker summons everyone to the office, and you can hear in his voice he's got news. As you hear his voice echoing over the cargo hold areas all throughout the ship, that the crew of the Ilios needs to report to the office immediately. And everyone from Skylar Khan to LaRoche, everybody looking at you all as they are fully aware that you guys being called up to the office means we're at 4574.
R.I.P. Sam.
Goodness. Oh my goodness. We're gonna have to get creative if it keeps going. We're gonna have to start getting really creative. I might have to pull out the big guns, or if we hit 5, I might have to pull out the big guns and make a big statement on that one. There might,
pressing X to doubt.
yeah, I think if we hit, I and this was already kind of in the back of my mind, but I think if we are lucky enough to hit 5 tonight, I will confirm a new STA campaign.
They ain't got it.
I will confirm that we will play a new STA campaign. That's
they don't want it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I will confirm that. So, okay. That being done, with that in mind, so everyone watches you all move down the corridors and make your way to the lift. When you guys get to the lifts and that long ride to the top of the tower where the office is, when you emerge and enter Varella's office, you see Baker is next to a blinking screen with a shit-eating grin on his face. And he raises his hand and he goes, I don't know anything just yet, but he's got me on call right now and he wants to talk to us.
Oh, okay. All of us?
Yes. He asked specifically if the crew of the Ilios was available for this conversation. I told him they could be. And he said if I was willing to call you all up, he had a lot of things that he wanted to discuss with everybody. That's all I know. I haven't heard anything else. So we'll see what that means. I just want to go ahead and before we have this conversation with him, he is going to be paying for this himself. He's connecting. All I have to do is tell him that we're ready to receive. Before I do that, though, I want to talk to you all. It's entirely possible that he just wants to hire the lot of you. And I want to be prepared for that. So if he offers you all jobs, you take them. All right? You say yes if that's what ends up happening.
But we can't do what we do without people, support.
I know.
Pilot.
Well, I'm planning on offering myself up as pilot if he offers you guys a job. I'm going to pitch myself. I will
Really?
submit my resume if I have to.
Okay.
But let's hear what he has to say first. And but I just wanted to be prepared so that you didn't get caught in an awkward situation where he's offering you jobs and not me or the rest of the station, because it sounds like that could be what's happening here. He wants y'all to be here, so I'm guessing he's got a specific interest in all of you. And my guess is he's probably heard a thing or two about things that have been going on around here. Remember, the ECA is a government-funded agency, so he's probably got some friends and Colonial Marines who have told him a thing or two about what's going on out here with Beacon. So I just want to prepare everyone. Just want to plan for eventualities. That's all. That's all.
Okay. Well, let's see what he says.
All right. I don't think Varella's ever even used this damn thing before. You see him reach under the desk and he taps a button, and this shelf, this thin shelf, just slides out from the desk about 2.5, 3 feet out, stops, and you see this circular like disc start to go and form around and form into like almost a bowl. And each of you identify immediately it's a hollow projection. It is top of the line communications array. And he goes, all right. So this isn't going to be 3-dimensional or anything. It's just a projected screen, but Varella's never had any cause to use this. Let's see. All right. And he waits. Like he's waiting to be let into a Zoom chat. And just kind of sits there and looks at all of you. And you can tell Baker and all of his stoic demeanor, just tapping his fingertips together. It's funny because I've always described Preston Baker as basically Idris Elba, the XO of the station. And after playing so much Phantom Liberty, I've got a lot of Idris Elba up in my brain. So he sits there and he's tapping on his fingers, just waiting patiently. And you see the screen flicker for a second. And then appearing on screen, you see, of course, all the diagnostics of real-time lag delay, all this information. You also see that it's currently broadcasting that it's 4:30 a.m. in Vancouver, Canada. Is what you see popping up on the screen. And you see somebody adjusting the camera and just going like, oh, I've almost got this. Okay. Hi, you guys reading me? And on the other side of the static, you see a Latino-looking gentleman. Looks like he might be pressing into his 50s right about now. Very clean, neat beard. Looks like he's wearing like a very sharp-looking jacket that typically is worn button up like a suit, but it is currently open. He looks a little informal. And judging from the fact that he's holding a cup of coffee in his hand and the look in his eyes, he looks quite tired. It's about 2 p.m. station time, but apparently back in Canada, it's 4:30 in the morning. And he adjusts and says, am I coming through okay? And you see the lag delay is about 6 seconds.
Coming through just fine.
Hi. Is which one of you is Preston Baker? I'm Preston Baker. Right. Hi. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Hello. My name's Anthony Mendoza. You can call me Tony. I'm sorry, were you able to get the crew here? They're standing right next to me. And he shuffles over and he goes, oh, hi, everybody. Hello. Excuse me. I got a bit
Isaac
of a cold.
ducks out of frame like a role player who realized at the last minute that they forgot to grab their dice, then pops back in carrying the cat.
Okay.
Grab the cat.
You pop back in carrying the cat, and he says, excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold. All right, well, I'll just go ahead and launch into what's been happening since I got your first message about 48 hours ago. I don't know if you, Preston seemed to hint that you guys were familiar. It's the ECA rather. You kind of know what we're all about, and I guess you probably are aware that I've been knocking on Beacon's door for quite a while, and it was very gratifying and exciting to get the reply message once and for all. I hope you don't mind, but I went ahead and did some research to find out what the latest stories were coming back from the station on that side. Not easy to get some data. Apparently, there's a lot of information that UA is keeping a bit under wraps right now. And of course, Weyland-Yutani is a little bit secretive, even if it is one of their subsidiaries. But I heard about Varela. I don't know much, just that she's been detained. So yeah, so I'm going to cut straight to the point, I guess, since this call is costing me an exorbitant amount of money to make. I did some digging. I got your message. I found out that Beacon was indeed being liquidated, that funding had been cut. Reached out to Weyland-Yutani and discovered that Weyland-Yutani is apparently undergoing a bit of a PR crisis right now. Turns out, I'm sure you know, Beacon was largely allowed funding because it was hoped that Beacon would kind of polish Weyland-Yutani's image a little bit after the Colony Wars and the Frontier War. So they're looking for wins. And right now with Varela, there's a bit of a concern that it's going to cause another hit to the PR. So they're looking to get rid of Beacon as quickly as possible. So things moved pretty fast after I found that out. And I got in touch with a few of the execs in Tokyo and had a quick discussion, verified that Weyland-Yutani did in fact cut funding to Beacon, and were notified of Varela's arrest. But with the ECA already begging the UN for additional assets and support to help our bogged down supply lines and support lines just across the board. I mean, I don't need to tell you, you're out there on the frontier right now. People need help out there, and there's just too much going on, not enough resources. So I did some string pulling and found out just how much Weyland-Yutani was asking for liquidation of the assets. We have managed to secure permission to make Weyland-Yutani an offer. About 3 hours ago, an offer was made. About 20 minutes before I called you, I learned that the offer had been accepted. So, in about 45 minutes time, Tokyo time, whatever the hell time zone that is right now, the ECA will be the official owner of Beacon. So take that in for a second. And next thing I was going to do is, well, Preston, it just seems like the smartest thing in the world to do to offer you the job of manager. I mean, the station staff knows you and everybody respects you, and I've read your personnel files. What do you think? You see Preston is just, he says, I think the past 5 days have been one hell of a roller coaster. That's what I think. Well, you don't have to say yes now if you don't want. No, yes, I will accept that. Good.
Gets like a slap to the back of the shoulder from Tick, like, yeah, good.
Let me tell you a little bit more about what's going to happen next here, because like I said, we've been a bit on a hair trigger here. We have been desperate to get as many supplies out to the frontier, basically your side of space, as quickly as we possibly can. Now, I went ahead and got the files from Weyland-Yutani as soon as the sales went through, and we have procured all the ships as well as station and staff. I've gone ahead and taken the liberty. About 4 of your station members were also indebted to Weyland-Yutani. I went ahead and paid those off. So they will be able to work as free agents for the ECA moving forward. If you don't know a little bit about what we do, frankly, we are doing our best to combat the corporate lobbyists who are corrupting the system. And I'll give you a snapshot of what that means in a second, but there's a lot to get through. So let me just go ahead and tell you what's happening next. We need to get supply chains moving again on the frontier as quickly as we possibly can. And quite frankly, the ships that you all have are simply too old. The FTL drives are not fast enough for the people who need it. I went ahead and took a look at the Ilios, and it's great to have a Bison out there because cargo hauling is very important. But for mission critical stuff, I'm afraid she's just too slow. So I pulled some strings about this. Now, this was already in my back pocket, and we were going to be doing this anyway. Like I said, Wayland Yutani is somewhat, I would say, damaged on the PR front. So they're looking to polish their image as much as possible. And last month, we were able to procure a ship specifically for missions out on the frontier. When I explain why they were so willing, you won't be quite as impressed. The ship is a little more up to date. You will be receiving a Magellan-class scientific exploratory vessel. Now, she is going to have some of the latest equipment on her, but the most important thing is her FTL drive is rated at a 10, so she's going to be about twice as fast as the Ilios. She's also going to have fully stocked med bays, 2 cryo sleep bays, a rescue pod, as well as all-terrain vehicle for any type of rescue missions you need to go on. She is going to be everything you need in order to reach people and actually help them. You are no longer going to be shortchanged on getting out to the edges of our galaxy and trying to help people who desperately need it. Everything sound good so far?
Does this new ship of yours have a name?
Well, currently she's named the Aura, but I was going to recommend you name her the Ilios too. It's your call.
It's got a nice ring to it. Second Life.
What was Varella's son's name?
Alvin.
Alvin. Which, by the way, is the name of one of my favorite exploratory deep sea submarines.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say Robert Ballard was one of my favorite explorers.
Would y'all mind terribly if I could petition that we name this the Alvin?
Are you talking to him?
Mm-hmm.
He says, it's going to be, even though it is a ship that we are going to be funding, but it's going to be your ship, and I'm happy to let you name that ship whatever you feel like you should name it.
Wonderful.
How about the Alvin Jackson?
I like it.
Alvin Jackson. I can't remember the last time I heard a ship named after a person.
2 people.
2 people.
The ground vehicle can be called the Ilios too.
Yeah.
Well, I still got a few details to go over with all of you, and of course, then I would need your acceptance if you're willing to say yes to this. But the ECA is pretty eager right now because of how desperate we are. Like I said, we're backlogged. So let me go over some of the benefits real fast, and then we'll get to what I need you all to do. First of all, you're all getting a raise. We offer anybody who is working for us a standard sum, especially crews who are going to be doing the work you do, a salary of $900 a week. Hopefully you'll find that acceptable. For context, for those of you who don't remember, you were being paid $400 a week by Beacon. You see at this point off screen, Preston is just laughing. You see his shoulders shaking as he's trying to keep himself together, but he's giving you the Lord Almighty look as he's listening to this. And he says, of course, we offer full health care for all employees. We're going to give everyone who decides to stay on at Beacon a $100 raise. See if we can't help these people out a little bit. There's going to be a lot of work that needs to be done out there. Y'all will be our only point of contact that far into the UA boundaries. You guys are our farthest station at this point. So here's what we need from you. And this is why. Why we got a discount on the ship. Why we were able to pay off a ship that normally costs about $40 million. Why Wayland Yutani was able to give it to us at discount, and why we were able to make the buy when we did. The ICC had an audit about 9 months ago in the wake of the Frontier War. And the audit revealed that both Siegson and Wayland Yutani were guilty of misplacing assets. That's how they characterized it. Now, we did some digging of our own. Here's what we learned. First of all, we learned that Wayland Yutani has engaged in practices sabotaging colonists who are making the venture far out into the far reaches of space. Now, if you're not familiar with the Contract of Colonial Rights and Liberties, which is an act that we helped get passed with the UN and the UA and the Three Worlds Empire, it guarantees all colonists the rights to free speech, religion, subcontract, assembly, and the right to petition their company and their government. Wayland Yutani and Siegson offer people a waiver for more money. They will give a cash bonus if you are willing to sign away those rights. And many colonists took them up on it and became essentially indentured to the companies, which led to further debt. We have now got records showing that there are generations of people that are picking up the debt of their parents and having to continue work at the companies. And for those who can't pay, or for those who are unable to continue paying on down their debt, Wayland Yutani cuts them free. We have at least 3 documented cases where the captain of a Wayland Yutani vessel was given orders to power off the cryosleep chamber of somebody whose contract expired in transit. As we are assembling a team of lawyers to prosecute the corporations for the malfeasance, there's a bigger problem out on the frontier where you all are. The audit has also revealed that there are currently 7 lost colonies that have gone dark since the start of the colony war. There is no updates, no transmissions being made. 3 of them, and you're not going to believe this, because I sure didn't when I saw the file, but 3 of them, they know the locations to. The other 4, they know the sectors they are in. Wayland Yutani and Siegson apparently have no written data about where the colonists ended up. It's believed that some of them may have actually skipped from planet side and tried to flee. Now, to give you a quick reminder, the colony wars were pretty ugly. When supplies got low on the frontiers, colonies started attacking other colonies for their supplies. There was raiding happening. And sometimes it made more sense to pack up what you could and get away from where people knew you were. That's the excuse Wayland Yutani is giving us, and it may be valid, but either way, we are now about to undergo one of the biggest needle in a haystack searches we have ever imagined. Our only way of regaining contact with these colonies is to systematically probe every system we can, which is why we're giving you this ship. Now, I'm going to recommend that you start with the 3 colonies that we know the location to, because they have gone to LOS the past almost year now. But with that, we do know that at least when they were still transmitting, we still had some semblance that they were active. So our hope is that we can send you all out there to help these people and rescue them. It's entirely possible that they're no longer in a sustainable situation. Other colonies have been at LOS for even longer than that. So that's the situation.
Isaac leans over to Baker. LOS?
That's exactly what I was. And anybody?
Yeah, does Baker answer that?
What's that?
Isaac leaned over to Baker and murmured, "LOS."
Oh, loss of signal.
Ah.
And then
Yeah.
straightens back up and like,
Loss of signal. It's
yep, nope, definitely knew that the whole time.
yeah. Basically, they went dark.
Well, looks like you've given us the means to help some folks out. Then you did the work of finding some folks that could need to be helped out. So
I think this is going to work great for. I can't tell you what it's been like. We have had our hands tied this whole time. We have so many colonies that have been begging for help, and Colonial Marines are doing the best they can, and we're doing the best we can. But there are so many colonies out there on the fringe that just they became victims of corporate greed, and now they are paying the price. All they wanted was a new life for themselves. You guys, you're our first chance to finally make a difference out there. I know you probably have your feelings about Varela, and I don't presume to know what they are, but I have a feeling that this is the way things were meant to be.
Sorry. They're trying to shift around having baby in their arm and then trying to shift to one arm baby so they can raise their hand.
Okay.
If these colonies really are falling apart, are we supposed to help them evacuate? What do we do? They won't all fit in the pods.
That's a great question. If the colonists want to evacuate, that's when we move to Plan B. Plan B is setting up a system to make their colony sustainable as possible. And then we send the bisons to come get everybody. It's going to be arduous. It is going to be a pain in the ass. We do not have access to colony ships. Those are simply beyond our capacity right now. But you have 3 working bisons and a fast ship to get there and set up camp to help people. So triage the situation. Beacon staff comes to the rescue, riding in, sun on their backs. I, of course, am going to be in constant contact as much as I can. I have full access to government channels through the UN Charter, so I will be able to access you guys in real time moving forward once you are officially signed on. So I'll send all the necessary paperwork and documentation. I hope you're ready for that, Baker, because you're about to start becoming a bit of a desk jockey. And you see Baker say, great, maybe I'll take up smoking like Varela.
Nah, it's bad for you.
That's all I've got, folks. I'm going to send paperwork along the way. But why don't you go let your crew know that they don't have to leave if they don't want to? I'll send forth... Baker, if you wouldn't mind, would you create some sort of a board and just verify everybody's work numbers, identification, so I can get that legal process started up and make sure everyone gets transferred over? You bet. I will do that. All right. Sounds good. Well, unless there's any questions.
Will this fancy ship of yours be coming with a pilot?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Pilot's flying out there.
Good. Great.
Anything else?
What's your favorite book? I take recommendations.
My favorite book?
Yes. Hi, I'm Isaac, by the way. This is Dr. Impressive.
Isaac. You're... Right, Isaac. Right, okay. Yeah, it sounded familiar. Yeah. I've met a few Isaac models. Pleasure to meet you, Isaac.
Yeah, and you. The book?
Oh, You see, he goes into a genuine thought process here as the time clicks away.
I'm costing him $10,000.
Yeah, he's just like,
book rack.
I'd have to say Oliver Twist.
I'll get a copy. Thank you.
Nods. Well, I don't want to take up any more of mine or your time. Go do what you guys need to do. And, well, I guess there's not much else to say, except, of course, welcome to the ECA, Beacon.
Thanks for having us.
With the smile, he just leans forward into the camera view, and you see it click, and you see the ECA logo pop up on the screen. And in a very Will Smith-like fashion, you see Preston just lower his head and just raise his hands up over and just gives a couple of claps.
Go team.
Dr. Impressive immediately jumps away. Just like doesn't want to be there anymore.
Doc is right by the button.
Hovering, like,
He gives your shoulders a good squeeze and kind of shakes you, and he goes, Doc, go ahead.
All right. Hello, people of Beacon. Stop packing. We got work to do.
No one really catches the second part of what you say because cheers erupt all along the lower decks of Beacon Station. Things are tossed into the air and you hear clapping. A few people throw their arms around each other. Even LaRoche manages a smile as everyone lets out a cheer. Down at the bottom deck, if you were anywhere near, you could hear the guttural cry of victory from Hassan, who is just doing like that big guy shaky arms. Turning off the comm, Preston says, "Well, I think we still have a party."
Oh, absolutely.
And just like that, you hear a notification as the finalized acceptance of sale comes through, and it pops up on the screen. And you see the transfer of assets to the ECA, as well as a welcome email and a getting started email for Preston Baker. It says, "Great, we're all going to have to read new information packets."
Oh, good.
I'll
Listen,
take it.
thank you so much for breaking into her computer files. For not
Who
breaking
said
into her computer files. For not breaking into her computer files.
Thanks for telling us we had the office.
Well, it's mine now.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Why don't you guys get your asses out of here and go celebrate with the rest of the station?
Sound like the director already. Don't you dare start smoking. It's bad for you. I'll keep an eye on you.
I would love it if Doc took the cigarette packet that was left in the desk. Like, you don't get to smoke. These are bad for everybody. And then Doc has them for later.
I was wondering who's going to pick those up.
Yeah, of course, Doc.
That's been
Organics.
Last count, by the way, is 457469.
Jesus, mina.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah, I'll try to locate the doctor. Not, yeah. Chase around, couple loops around.
Okay.
We manage. And yeah, I'll head out, I guess. Wow.
Yeah.
It can exist.
You guys have free reign now. There is this weight that 4624. Excuse me.
Oh, look at that.
Excuse. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. I have sinned, and I apologize.
The ECA just entered the chat.
Yeah. You guys have free reign right now, but you can see from the people around you, from Beacon staff everywhere, you've not seen them like this before. There's not a cloud hanging over everyone. There is an excitement, an acceptance. But you also get the feeling that these are people who've been together for months now. For the first time in a while, staying together. Roots were placed here. Relationships were formed. Things happened. Like, no one wanted to leave. Beacon had, in fact, become something of a home. This old, run-down used Siegson station that still has the wrong name etched out on the front with a bad logo on it. Nobody wanted to leave. And that's apparent as you see people cheering, crying, and hugging each other. When the crew of the Ilios enters onto the concourse deck, you guys are swamped. You guys are absolutely swamped with people giving you hugs, cheering you on. Of course, his son has already charged up onto the deck, and you hear him in mock anger. Where is Isaac? Where are they? Show me
You
that
want a piece of
right
this?
now.
You, yeah.
Come here, you. He strides over to you and just scoops you up in his big arms, lifting you up off the ground. You are now
I kick you legs.
Yeah.
You are now taller than everyone here.
Off Sam's dream. I will once put down, I will reciprocate.
Okay.
Yeah.
As he puts you down, it's not easy to get your arms around the big man, but you don't need to either, because you are basically a bipedal forklift. As you grab him and just easily lift him up off the ground. And at first he's a little surprised, but then he, almost in a dainty fashion, throws his head back and like kicks his leg up, causing laughter and people like cheering and laughing and everyone like that. There is just there is a ruckus as celebrations begin. And you're pretty sure you hear the pop of some bottles being opened in the crowd. No bug juice today. Other drinks are being imbibed.
If there's a soda stream, we could have sparkling bug juice. I'm just saying.
I knew it, Martha. I knew it.
I'm just saying.
You could make like a, like a when people do like mimosa bar when they have like other types of juice.
Mm-hmm.
You just put the bug juice in with the with the champagne, and you've got a bug juice mimosa.
Exactly. That's what Martha's gonna drink. But actually, y'all might slightly notice Martha has had this like contained joy, but it has been a bit contained.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to slip away at some point during all this.
The overstimulation, maybe?
Not quite.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She wants to make knowing how expensive calls are, she really needs to talk to someone right now because she's not sure of her future exactly.
Well, that is going to leave C deck and head into the elevator, the lift, taking you all the way up past life support to E deck where Hab block is. When the doors open, you see, of course, that imagine, if you will, just to sort of reset your mind as to what the inside of Beacon Station looks like. Just like most ships in the alien universe, it is poorly lit. There is just a lot of shadows and darkness everywhere and a lot of fluorescent lights all over the place. The lighting is low, somewhat warm. The doors open and your eyes adjust for a second as you step out into the darkened corridor, lit by a few of the lights on the sides of the walls. But no one is currently on Hab block. So as soon as you step out, you see the entryway to the quarters. And this is, of course, where most of the station staff sleeps and where your personal quarters are located.
I'm going to go back to my little personal quarters and check. Did I ever get a response from the Brigadier General?
When you get back to your quarters, of course, you step it back to this is a pretty sparse room. I would say your quarters are roughly 200 square feet. So it's just enough room for a small sofa, a couple of like places to cook food, a shower, toilet, and a bed. So as you step into the quarters, you look over at the personal comms unit, move over to check your messages. There's been no reply just yet. It says reply pending.
I'm gonna message Baker. Well, Verilla's office, hopefully, if he's still there.
Okay.
Baker, are you available right now?
You hear the reply. It says, "I'm surprised I can hear you. You're not at the party?"
Oh no, I just stepped out because I have some business I need to attend to, which is why I wanted to talk to you.
All right, sure. You sound a little forlorn. Where do you want to meet?
I can come to you.
All right. You're getting your steps in today. See you in a minute.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
A few moments later, making your way once back to the lift. The lift is, you can tell that the system right now is undergoing a lot of activity as people are moving to and forward to try to get to the Hab block. from the Hab block down to the main concourse deck, which is currently being flooded with people celebrating. By the time you reach the top of the tower, the door is open. You see, as you come around the corner, you see a small bottle of alcohol, and I do mean small, like travel size, a pathetic little bottle of alcohol just sitting on the desk that he has been nursing as he's typing away. As you enter, and he goes, "There she is."
Hi, Baker. I need some help, I guess, because this is amazing news, like so amazing. But I'm still a colonial marine, and I'm not quite ready to give that up. But I want to do this. I just don't know if they'll let me.
You think they might recall you?
They could. I think I had enough. I was sent to be a part of Beacon, and now Beacon technically has ended and restarted. I'm not sure where I stand with them. I haven't heard back from my contact there. It's kind of freaking me out. I don't want to leave.
They, by chance, I've never asked you this before because I didn't want to get in the Colonial Marines business, and I didn't want to put you in a position where you had to answer me where you couldn't answer me. But were you here to spy on Varela? She always thought you were.
Yeah, I was. Absolutely.
Well, it turns out no one's got the right to be mad at you for it because it was needed.
Yeah. And
with her gone, you're afraid they're going to recall you.
Yeah. If there's no one to spy on, then why am I here? In their eyes, at least. But
shit. I don't know.
I don't know. Things have changed for me, like I came out here wanting to clear my conscience, clear my reputation in the Colonial Marines, and now I have a team. I have this family, and we've done good work, and I feel like we could keep doing it, and I don't really want that to end.
What's wrong with your reputation?
Oh, a lot. A lot.
You're like one of the nicest people I know. What could possibly be wrong with your reputation?
I mean, I'm nice to people who are also nice and kind, but if you're a jerk and an abuser, not so much. Doesn't matter what your rank is. Apparently, I can't stop my fists from flying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit, Martha.
I may have an authority problem, but specifically with abusers.
Fuck me. You spend some time cooling your heels in a brig, I'm taking it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So but they sent you here.
Yeah, that was after the brig.
I'm starting to piece this together now. So were we like punishment?
Yeah. I mean, it was more like community service with a lot of spycraft sprinkled in.
Oh, no. Oh.
Yeah, God, saying this out loud is very... Wow.
Oh, no. I wish Varela was here to hear that. God, I may find out if I can send her mail in prison. I just want her to know that.
Yeah, she was right. And she definitely tried to call me on it. But,
that is, you can't take the exec out of a former exec. You just can't.
Yeah.
How many more years do you got of service? Do you know? I'm sure you do. You probably been counting the days. How many more years do you have before you retire?
Yeah, I have. Pause while Eliza figures out how many more years do I have.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, as your storyteller, I'm very curious of how many more years you've got on duty.
I don't even know. Maybe we can figure that out.
Sure. Yeah.
What's a standard? I actually have the Colonial Marines book.
Well, if you're enlisted, at least today by military standard, 4 years.
Okay.
4 years in the military.
Yeah, I don't know. We could just decide something right now, because
unless you're my
Do you want her
dad.
to have been in it for a while?
Yeah, because I'm not
you want, you've been in it for 3 years and you've got one left, or you could have re-enlisted for a second.
No, yeah, I think I definitely have I've re-enlisted at least once.
Okay.
I think I've been in this for like 8-ish plus
Okay,
years.
so then
maybe 10 even.
Well, so if you re-enlisted, you would probably be up for an officer. You could be petitioning for, I mean, not technically, you could be petitioning for an officer role. You're a corporal right now. I guess it
Mhm.
depends. If you wanted to go career, you could certainly do that. But yeah, I would
I
say you probably if you've done at least 4 years, then you could say that you're on like year 5 or 6 right now.
I think even more.
Then you are towards the end of your second tour, as it were?
Yeah, maybe like 7 years. 7 years.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, like a
Right.
year left.
Okay,
Yeah.
then yeah, we'd say you are approaching retirement then. You're you know, because if you don't if you don't become an officer, then you basically wrap out. So
Okay. So I say, yeah, I have about a year left right now. But Baker, it's also I'm not sure I'm done with the Colonial Marines. I just kind of want some time. I want to put that on pause and do this for a while. And I don't know if they'll be down for that or if
I mean,
would you like if I petition to them for a leave, like an official leave, would you back me up? Would you like sign a letter for me or something?
oh yeah, of course I would in an instant. But my brother was a Colonial Marine, and they get real stingy about letting you out.
Yeah, I mean, I already kind of have an idea of how I can spin this, like getting, my service experience on a different angle. I need to see what the frontier is like to see how, as a Colonial Marine, how we can help things as Colonial Marines, like an attaché or something. I don't know. There must be something. I'll think about it more. And I need to talk to her. My contact might have a better idea of how to approach this.
Well, I mean, I wish I could offer more. You know, this might be a situation where I'm just going to suggest this. I don't know how I don't know how smart this would be, but might be that we could ask our new friend, see if he could help. Clearly, he's got some government contacts, being funded by a government agency. Who knows? Maybe he could pull some strings or something and get you assigned to Beacon. I mean, having a Colonial Marine presence without having a full garrison here certainly has its benefits. I mean, having you out here is one of the things that made it possible to head off some of the threats that just happened. So you could be the eyes and ears of the Colonial Marines. I mean, hell, even UNICEF has their own peacekeepers, and I know that this particular organization does what it can to avoid violence at all costs, unless being defensive, of course, to protect colonists and the supplies trying to get to the colonists. But I think there's plenty of case to be making.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Okay. We can consider this in progress then.
All right. I'm going to try to refresh my camera because I see people are saying that I'm out of sync, but I don't think there's anything I can do about it.
That was me last week.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. And I couldn't fix it either. Like, I don't know why I was doing it. I still don't.
When in doubt, we turn it off and back on. So please hold as Eric reloads.
I did. I reloaded already.
Okay.
What? You didn't even drop out.
Nope. I clicked refresh on my camera, so hopefully that'll. I doubt that's
well,
going to
you're
fix
not
it.
like a browser
here.
level refresh.
No.
Yeah, for us,
That was what
yeah,
got it
you're
last
not.
time. Yeah.
I have no
No.
lag for you.
So wild.
Y'all aren't lagging for me
Weird.
either. It's going to the stream for some reason.
Strange.
All right. So with that, Preston thinks about this for a second and just says, I don't want to be sort of a, give a mouse a cookie, they ask for a glass of milk kind of situation, but I'll see what we can do about our new friend, and maybe I can ask for an early favor. See if he can't get a hold of somebody for you.
All right. Great.
I don't believe you either, Martha. And I don't think I don't think the crew is going to be able to get along without you.
Well, I mean, they're very capable, but I selfishly don't want to lose them.
I'll let you know what I can find out for you.
Thank you, sir. One more thing. While you're sending out messages, I know you have a ton of paperwork. And by the way, let me know if I can help with that. I mean,
I will take you up on that.
yeah,
I will absolutely take you up on that.
absolutely. I'm happy to help. There's someone, well, my contact is a brigadier general, and I'm actually kind of worried that I haven't heard back from her. It's been like 3 weeks. I just want to make sure
Okay.
she's okay or something didn't happen that I'm not aware of.
Yeesh. I don't know how to help you there. If you've got
Okay.
connections to the top brass, that's way above my pay grade.
Maybe
Even
I
with the money I'm earning now.
Okay, maybe I just need to check for news or something where she is. But yeah, let me know when you want to do paperwork time.
Go party first. I'll
Okay.
correlate and get back to you on that.
All right, are you gonna come down too?
Yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy a moment of quiet first.
Okay, don't drink all that at once.
I probably will, but then I'll come down to the party.
I was kidding. That's a very tiny, hilarious amount of alcohol.
Yeah, well, it's all I could sneak through customs.
All right, I'll see you down there.
All right. What is everyone else doing? You kind of have a free reign right now to follow up on things, to follow through on things. Yes, Tig.
Tig has a very small errand to run. I think she mingles for like a bit and then is like, as soon as anyone she was talking with is connected in another conversation, she's also going to split off. She has a message she's been meaning to send, but was waiting to figure out if she was going to be staying out here or not. So I don't know, do I need my room or can I find any just like a terminal in a quiet hallway?
There's a couple of, so you're on, if you're heading to another deck, there's certainly, I'm looking at the blueprints here. Concourse deck C. There's actually no mother terminals on Concourse deck C, which makes sense because that's the most public. Yeah. Oh no, there is one. It's actually by the lift. There is a mother terminal by the lift, so you can access that.
Is it like still like a rowdy area, or is it quieter over there?
It's in the dead center of the room. Okay. Yeah, the lift on Concourse deck is like this giant cylinder that stretches from the ceiling to the floor. It's essentially a single spine of the station that takes you up and down.
Okay, she'll sneak off to another floor since it seems like everybody's here. She doesn't need to go back to her quarters or anything. She just needs a mother terminal and doesn't want to be asked questions.
Life support deck is real quiet. It's where the garden is. So heading up to deck D, it doesn't take long to find yourself in a nice little quiet, dark corner. You do see the garden here. The green room has actually come quite a ways. Some of the fresh soil that's been shipped out here has finally been laid in place, and you can see that there's little bitty sprouts that are lining up in some of the greenhouse area, as well as some of the water being cycled through here. But there is a mother terminal here.
Air probably feels really nice on this floor, having live plant life.
Yeah, it's surrounded by the water tanks. All the water tanks are on deck D, as well as the life support bay and 2 offices. But here, the mother terminal is actually facing the garden area and the greenhouse, which is quite
like
the
a moment. So it's probably a moment of coming from like super crowded, warm, loud, like you get the humidity of being around other people, and then stepping into like a space with, this has like the plants in the greenhouse and whatever. Like the air just feels different, and she has like a full deep breath for a second. And then she's gonna head to the terminal, and she's gonna send a quick message to her uncle Hugo, because she has not pinged in a while. Just her usual, I'm good, basically. Hope you're well. And then she doesn't give any specifics, but says that there's been like an overhaul at the station, and she will be staying still. Like, I think when she first left, she didn't know like how permanent of a situation this was going to be.
Right.
And so every time she talks to him, she's like, "Yep, I'm still out here." Like, "Yep, I'm still out here." So she just wants him to know where she is.
Okay.
So nothing that dire. And she sends that along. And then she is going to send a message to Captain Levine.
Okay.
And send him the information he needs to keep an eye out for one Buffy Riley. She sends a message that as she's typing it out, she has a moment of, there isn't necessarily hesitation, but there's just like the sinking of the stomach of that she had a chance to never have to like hear from the Marines again.
Mm-hmm.
And she's foregoing that for this. She doesn't regret it, but it sits in the back of her mind. And she sends cashing in that favor, name Elizabeth Riley, care of Edith and Leon Riley on the Safe Haven Marine Base colony. And she had told him he was 4 years old, had told him she's 4 years old and has to correct herself because she would have turned 5 since she's been here. And we'll send that his way. And I think take a few minutes just up in the kind of dark quiet before she heads back down.
You watch the cursor trace back to the number 4. You change it to 5. Finish typing out the message and hit send. You see it upload to the network and send off. You have a moment to exhale. Glancing out towards the green room, of course, you see the makings, all the hard work of the botanical gardens that are starting to grow up around here. Different plant life, but also some farming that is happening out here. Growing natural food in space, not easy to do, but can be done with the right science fiction technologies. But what's spectacular about the green room in specific is that it's one of the largest single rooms on the entire station. So it's quite beautiful to step into. But it's also one of the largest glassed walls. So as you step inside, you can see that much like the office, there is a great deck that kind of looks out into space. So beyond all of these plants, there are shutters that open and close. And on occasion, you can see starlight just on the other side of plants that are slowly starting to peek up out of the soil. It feels so remote out here, so utterly distant from everything. You are so very far away from home and where you used to be. And it's nice and quiet, just like you had hoped. All that is with you here are memories and the gentle, ever-comforting, rumbling sound of the power coursing through the decks beneath your feet, creating that ever-present ambient hum of Beacon Station. What is everybody else doing? Anybody else doing something? Because no one speaks up. I can tell you right now that Isaac is currently getting tattooed.
Again?
Mm-hmm.
I think Doc is in the middle of the party with Doc Impressive. And I think at this point, with all the bubbly, we've got ourselves a little bit of a giddy, tipsy Doc. And
have you reconnected with anybody?
He's going to try and find Taylor.
Okay. I can tell you right now, Doc, that the moment you had a moment of freedom from meeting and whatnot, as soon as you got back, Taylor found you. And is delighted to see you back. Because if you remember, she had a very anxious, anxiety-ridden goodbye when you took off. You guys left the station just after the death of your friend, and who, as you remember, she was actually kind of close to.
Yeah.
So when you returned from this Beacon Station, Taylor, it was basically Dad coming home from the airport. Is kind of how you were greeted. So, she is with you right now, and somebody is currently, one of the deckhands is currently offering her a bottle of this alcohol, and she's sniffing at it, just going, "I never liked this shit."
Now you're not just saying that because I'm here, because I like that shit.
It says, "Tell you what," and she takes a swig, and you can have the rest of it.
I will. Oh,
yeah. I pass it to you. You see that most of the label has been torn away, but it's your standard fare.
I'm not fancy. I just how have you been is a really dumb question in the grand scheme of things. But how are you?
Each drink decreases your stress level by 1 step, but also gives you a -1 modifier to wits on all skill checks for the next shift.
Yes!
That is what beer does to you. Listed under entertainment. And of course, it is Wayland Yutani's original extra strong recipe. Beer of choice is the Frontier is Wayland Yutani's genuine extra strong aspen beer. It's watered down and tastes like piss, but it gets the job done. Yep. Yummy.
Disgusting, but it gets the job done.
The job done. So you can scratch that stress off of your sheet.
And
Actually,
drop the wits down a bit.
Honestly, I think at this point, everyone's relieved of that 1 point of stress just from the party alone. In fact, I would go so far as to say that if you have any cumulative stress that is still lingered over, you can get rid of it.
Oh, yes.
I mean, the news alone that you guys that Beacon has saved, that's kind of done the job. So
now, Taylor, I'm giving you a very important job because I know myself. I have booze in my system, which means that I am likely to give an unwarranted speech. So I'm counting on you to make sure that I do no such thing, make a fool of myself.
She smiles and says, I don't think I've heard of anyone who has successfully gotten you to stop talking.
You are correct. I talk when I'm scared.
So do I. Unless I'm lying unconscious on the floor after a really shitty bout of hypersleep. But thankfully, she pats you on the shoulder and she says, thankfully, I've got a doc at my side.
Yeah, you weren't my worst patient. I'll tell you that much. When you have a sec, you and we have got to discuss Tig.
You see her eyes go almost doe, and she says, is something wrong with Tig?
You're muted, bud. Soft muted.
Oh
my God! We found out what it takes to get Doc to stop talking.
But he just goes, when Tig is healthy, Tig is fine. But when Tig is not healthy, it's a right pain in my ass.
Okay. Oh, does she need help with her arm? Her elbow, rather?
Probably not. Look, honestly, probably does need somebody to look at it. Will she let somebody look at it? No. Not at all. And I'm not even strong enough to try and make that happen. I'm not charming enough to charm my way into making it happen. I just have to watch as my good work is. Anybody got more of that beer?
She smiles and says, I can go get some more beer. She pushes herself off. About this point, I would say Tig and Martha, you both kind of converge on the concourse deck after your separate journeys back. You see that Isaac is currently getting another tattoo next to the first one.
Can I snake some stencil paper?
Sure.
Wow. Like, not like, have to make a sleight of hand check about it. Just like,
sure.
Hey, could I have a couple of sheets of that? I have an idea.
Yeah. Your Hassan offers it up to you.
Thank you. This is looking really good.
By the way, why don't you tell me what it is? What do you think Isaac's getting?
Look, Eric, let me make you a deal.
Okay, make me a deal.
The camera's on Isaac's face. Next week, the camera can be on Isaac's arm. How about that? By myself sometime.
Like a yeah. Gotcha. Click.
it's just where the camera is. The
right.
camera.
No, it's not important right now. Yeah, the art's not important right now.
I'm going to learn how to combine bioluminescence and a bad edit. I'm going to learn how to put those two together in a single scene in an RPG, and it's going to be beautiful.
Okay, but honestly, if it did look like a continuity error, like there was no glow, and then you look back, and then behind the character, everything was suddenly glowing, that has a certain sort of like Doctor Who Angels energy, Whipping Angels energy. If it's just suddenly glow, like a.
Yep. Okay.
Wow.
All right, so you all managed to reconvene. You were brought more beer, Doc. Lots of arm wrestling happening right now. The party has gotten to that point where
I want to get in on that.
Yeah, the party has gotten to the point where people basically have the cheers have stopped, and it has now become that sort of carousing party. Some of it is just like people having a good time and laughing and telling jokes and making promises and betting work hours on the deck down below, like put in like a couple of more hours. Yeah, basically gambling away some of their work hours and free time and stuff like that. And a couple of people have probably unbuttoned a little bit too much of their uniforms as they're getting a little bit, because station staff looks like they are really just letting loose a lot of stress right now. Like everyone is exhaling. Everyone is realizing that, JK, you don't have to worry about your future for tonight. You all managed to convene at the same spot, which is one of the tables that it's closer to the lift that goes up to the center and all up and down Beacon Station, where you can see Taylor is currently handing Doc another bottle of this crappy Aspen beer.
Doc is lit.
Okay.
Martha, yeah.
Completely drunk, yeah.
Martha lets out a long chuckle seeing the situation. Okay, Doc.
Are we supposed to cut you off or something? Or
Nah, you're supposed to stop me from giving a speech. Oh no, not you. No.
Why would we do that?
You look. Oh, Taylor. I was talking about Taylor, and I was talking to Taylor about you. And it's not important.
All bad things, I hope.
Nothing but the worst.
Wouldn't expect anything less. And she'll cheers you.
Clink.
Clink.
Fancy beer.
What has happened to the organics?
Stress relief.
Yeah.
Been a little too wound up for a little too long. And everybody's feeling just a little loosey-goosey.
Taylor, who is clearly testing the limits of how much she cannot feel her lips, stares at you in a very awkward way, Isaac, and just says, inebriation.
Ooh. Oh yeah, she's a couple levels past where I'm at, but yeah, that's the gist of it.
She is that quiet, happy drunk as the bottle's kind of rolling around on the table.
She's like warm and like cheesing.
Got a little bit of blush to her cheeks as she's just listening to everybody, kind of happy.
I love all of y'all.
Around the room, like looks with new eyes, understanding what's going on around them through the lens of inebriation.
Why is everybody saying inebriation like that?
It's a fun word, fun enunciation. It's like the word apotropaic. Good sounds.
By the way, the Alien RPG does have rules for dehydration. Just so you all know.
I mean, good, the way this crew's always thirsty. What?
I think that everybody is forgetting the reason that we're here in the first place. You just hold something. You're impressive.
Would love it if everyone around like kind of cheered, like it's just.
Yeah, Mr. Impressive.
Doctor.
It's Dr. Impressive. It's the perfect name for Dr. Impressive because you've never seen a more unimpressed animal in your entire life. Despite the fact that there is noise and ruckus going on, this is one of those cats that will just look at you with their eyes half open. You're pretty sure that if you were capable of feeling your fingertips in a meaningful way right now, Doc, you might actually be picking up some purrs, even though the Dr. Impressive looks relatively disinterested in the crowd of people that start cheering as you lift the cat up like you're offering him up at Pride Rock.
What was that? Doctor here says that we made it another day. Look at that. In the void of space. Oh no, the speech. It started. Stop me.
Oh no, don't.
Too late.
And he passes.
Out of our hands.
He's gonna pass somebody the cat and just immediately sit down.
Martha, your compad starts to beep.
Oh no, because I've been trying to catch up to them. I would have grabbed a drink by now, but yeah, I'm like, okay, oh, whoopsies. I check it.
You are receiving a message from the Brigadier.
Oh, God. Hold my beer. Hand it to Tig.
Okay. Yep.
Slip away. What's the quietest place? Bathroom, maybe?
On concourse deck, pretty much all of station staff is here. If this
Just literally
tower was-
anywhere else.
Yeah.
You
You can go up to the deck D and hang out with the plants.
I don't want to.
You can pass by some of the gallerias that have yet to be rented out to any commercial staff. May not need to now that this place is fully funded, but you kind of dip into one of these cornered rooms that were supposed to maybe hold retail shops or anything that wanted to open here when these was sort of a public area, and have to push your way past as you see at least one or two people making out. And I say one or two because I mean more like three people kind of all enjoying themselves as you move through the area. When you get into the main hallway, though, you do find towards the back the promenade deck, which kind of arcs out a little bit and gives you another spectacular view of the night sky. You stand there and tap into your comm unit and brings up a reply email.
Okay.
A reply message.
Okay. I'm opening it up. See
It
what
simply
she-
says coordination with ECA between offices. Aware of your situation. ECA is currently cooperating with Colonial Marines.
Who is this from?
This is the Brigadier General.
Shut up.
And it says more details to follow. Continue with mission. ECA currently looking for evidence of corporate malfeasance on Frontier.
Okay, more spycraft, but okay.
Enforcement of Colonial Protection Act is authorized. Stand by for your orders.
Fuck yes.
Martha, as the message ends and you click it off and the exaltation moves through you for a second, you can still hear the ruckus shouting behind you. You see just past your reflection in the deep space, the thousands of brilliant pinpoints of light, each one of them a star. And out there, thousands of people that just need someone to give a damn. They're waiting for you all. Just like all of you who have donated tonight, they were waiting for you. And you showed up. And tonight, Beacon raised over $4,600. I think, Jake, last post. What is the final total for tonight? Would you say?
$4,700.
$4,700.
Yeah.
We have fun here. We were playing lots of games. And of course, Ox Crew, you guys have been with us since the beginning and telling stories. We've had impacts on each other. But tonight, we made a difference in the world. And I want you all to know that. I hope you all understand that. What you did tonight is deeply important and incredibly impactful. It is a dark, dark time right now. And little things like tonight, they matter so much. Thank you for being our beacon tonight. That is going to conclude tonight's session, and we will pick up next Monday. I hope you all get some great rest as a new chapter continues. Oh God, look at Noir. Look at Noir. Noir's got something, can't help himself. What is
Can I just have Doc pass out with his tramp stamp tattoo showing finally?
Oh no.
It's a stethoscope in the shape of a heart, and written on it is the doctor is in.
You had to give Caitlin ideas for the animatic, didn't you?
Hey, I'm not the one choosing. I'm not the one choosing what we're doing. Everybody's got to give me ideas, but that'll be up there, I guess.
Okay, but any scene that Doc is in, we could see that the Doc is in. Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? We'll just have to find out as a chat, VOD squad, Twitterati, make your suggestions, make them in Discord, make them on socials, make them in the YouTube comments. Hello, YouTube.
Yeah, that actually might be the best spot to do it, then we can collect them all in one. So if you have an idea for an animatic,
I might say that the Streampunks
or do you
Discord might be the
maybe
best
Discord?
place to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then we'll coordinate a spot to do
Collaborate,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't get all over the place and people don't get bogged down by it or they don't get lost. And
Mhm.
we'll do that, and we'll cut it down to a few. You'll give as many ideas as you want, and then I'll bring it down to a few that we can vote on, and we'll have a fun little beacon animatic together.
Sounds good. I can't wait. Until then, friends, be good to yourselves, and we'll see you soon. Until then, this is the crew of the Beacon, signing off.